back. All right, so this is the first you are all getting to meet Mal. So Mal, why don't you give everybody a description of your character to start us off?
All right. Well, so probably the first immediate thing that you would notice, I guess, I'm a pretty large individual. I'm not as big as Agog, but I'm like close to 7 foot. I kind of hunch a little bit. I'm not like a career soldier kind of thing that's always standing upright. So it's kind of hard to like recognize my true size. But I'm a big individual. I'm just wearing just like standard, like whatever the equipment is that presumably like Agog or whoever gave me. And then, but really the most distinguishing factor, is it dark out right now?
It is daytime.
Midday.
It's just daytime. So yeah, you would be able to see. So I have a hood up pretty much always to like try and like mostly try and hide my face. But if it's like daylight, you would still notice that I have like pretty giant teeth for like even for an orc. They're like very big, like sharp incisors that basically go like up from my mouth. And then very specifically my face is like just absolutely brutalized. It's like if you like took someone's face and you just like did whips and burns to it for like hours and hours and hours and days on end and just mutilated a face as much as you possibly could. That's like essentially what my face looks like.
Ryan got a little excited at that.
No.
And then very specifically there's a what is it again, Steve?
You have a scar of a flaming sword. Of a flaming falchion.
That I just assume is like along my left eye and going down the side of my face.
Fine.
It's a brand or it's
a brand.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
It's very clearly like been like put there by like intense flames or some sort of magical source or whatever. And then other than that though, I don't really carry much. I have like a small pouch that presumably just looks like a tool pouch, and then I just have the scimitar. Other than that, I don't really travel very heavily or anything like that. Yeah, so that's my appearance.
Why don't the rest of you give your current appearance to Mal here? Let's start with. Let's do randomly, unless somebody wants to volunteer first.
I'll go first since
Okay.
I guess I was the first guy he probably saw.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just a human, pretty obvious. Average height, average build. You'll notice I have like dark hair with light blue eyes. My cloak is probably lined with like a bluish tint in the inside, but it's just plain gray or dark color on the outside. Other than that, it's just an average human male. You'll notice I have like spellcasting-ish robes. I don't have like the normal military leather armor or anything like that.
All right, who wants to go next?
Sure, I can.
Okay.
Yeah, human, very average appearance. 6 feet, 170 pounds, chestnut hair, brown eyes. I'm wearing standard military issue gear. But I also have what was that thing that signifies me as a leader, Steve? Was it like a pin or a necklace?
You have a patch that is basically on your character.
Right. Yeah, and I have a patch signifying me as a leader.
Right.
Next.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm about 6 foot tall. I've got a bunch of weapons around my waist and my crossbow. I guess at this point on my back. Got medium length, slicked back, brown hair, brown goatee, human. Got some hide armor and a black leather jacket that is like as opened and have white like kind of like a dress shirt sort of underneath. And then I've got some black pants with some studs down the side and some nice black shoes to go along with those.
And lastly, Sphinx.
Finally, another non-human.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus, 3 out of 3 humans. I'm not gonna do well.
So I am a short hobgoblin with black hair and green eyes. I've got some like witchy robes, and I've got a really pointy hat, and I've got a little turtle companion on my turtle familiar on my shoulder.
Agat looks over the four of you. I think these are the guys that'll probably take you to the camp. I'm assuming they probably don't. It's gonna be some explaining. You guys military? Right, wait. He knows who you are. Sorry.
Yeah, he's met with us.
Yeah. I didn't think you guys would be sticking around for the trade.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to make sure everything went through well, and obviously we were correct in our assumptions that we might want to stick around.
Well, I appreciate it. Just know that I understand the difference between the city setting out to get us, or the town setting out to get us, and fringe humans with an attitude.
That's good.
So these are we've seen that these are humans, the people, the bodies, and the unconscious guy.
Yeah, Agak will can also reach down, show you like beneath for those people that can't tell from underneath the hoods they have up. It's pretty obvious they have humanoid features. The town is like mostly dwarves and gnomes, or dwarves, and the only other race you've seen in town have been gnomes and humans. So it's pretty obvious these have to be humans of the right height. Definitely not the right width. Well, it's fortuitous that we at least meet you here, so I can explain this without having to do this elsewhere then. This is Mel, how do you say your name? It's quite a mouthful. In common.
Meldronicus.
Thanks. He's gonna be... You guys need to take him back to your camp, along with this letter. He procures a wrapped up piece of parchment that is tied off, and then imprinted with with like some... there is wax closing it off, but the wax is not imprinted with a signet ring like you might be used to. It looks like somebody took like a giant stampy thing and just kind of stuffed it down on top of it. And he hands it over to you, Jack.
All right.
Make sure that whoever you report to gets that. It's very important. It will determine Mal's fate. Your forces would consider him at this point property, fortunately. But I think in the meantime, his skills while you travel home should ensure that you all get there safely. And I would ask you one favor, if I may.
What's that?
Treat him as if he were one of your own. Treat him as if he were a member of your team. If you do that, he might be able to assist you in the future. If you don't, it is likely he'll end up cleaning the grounds. And I'm sure that would be a poor use of his talents.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some of his skill here today, so I don't anticipate there being any problem.
Good. You can take whatever they have on them for now. I'm gonna get back to the cart. Mal, if you don't mind, can you stick with them?
Oh yeah, I mean, the guy that got shot, she gave magical healing to him, right?
Yes, she did.
So he's perking back in.
Oh no, he's still unconscious. He's took a lot of damage, and the con damage. He was only 2 hit points from death.
Oh, okay. I'm like trying to remember. Is Pathfinder the one though? If you have any amount of damage and you get any magical healing, you go back to.
No, that is 5e. 5e is the one where you can have any amount of negative damage,
okay.
And if you're healed back to being up and able.
Okay, never mind then. I was like trying to remember which one that is. Okay, so
Okay.
he's still out.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I would just sheath my sword and just say ditto
Okay.
to what Agag said.
Agak will reach out a hand to shake.
Sure, I'll shake his hand.
No, to Mal.
Jack awkwardly goes to, and he's like, "Oh."
He's just,
Yeah, I mean, hey,
snipes the.
he had just been talking to me, so
I'll grab Agag's forearm, kind of like not like a handshake, but like forearm shake, and just say, "Till next time, brother."
Yep, he will. If you'll let him, he'll pull you in and like give you one of those side hugs.
Yep. Yeah, I don't resist.
Okay, and then
I'll take my big bear hug.
he'll whisper to you, "Be careful. This many people this many humans in one group isn't always good for our kind. I hope they treat you as well as you deserve."
I always keep one eye open around these crowds. Don't worry about me.
Good. Then he'll let go. Jack, what is that sleight of hand for?
to play off my handshake.
Okay. With an 11, you put it out there and like you don't get one back, and you're like,
I'm brushing my hair back, yo.
Yep.
I definitely noticed, and I just kind of laugh. I'm like,
all right. Agak goes back in to the cart. Yeah. So the five of you, or the five of you, can collect what they have of value on them. I will give that to you pretty easy here.
I will cut some rope and bind this guy.
Okay. So when you're taking stuff, are you taking from everybody, or are you going to leave the conscious guy his stuff?
No, man, we're not leaving him his dagger.
Yeah, I think
we're definitely not leaving them any weapons. Any weapons they have.
Okay. So yeah, they each have they each have one dagger each, and one crossbow each. You know that Mal, you know that the dagger he has is magic on it. I am going to. In addition, there are. I hate gems. I like gems and I hate gems. So I'm gonna give you the gems in. It's really hard to do this in Discord because it'll.
Here, let me also explain the way we are doing loot.
Yep, go ahead.
All right, so what we do is there's 5 people in the group. We divide it up by 6, and there's a party fund.
Sure. I generally don't care much about loot, so.
Okay.
And I'll collect everything and divvy it out.
All right. Well, I think here the easy way to do this is I'm just gonna run through the list of stuff here, and you guys. So these gems are gonna be marked. These are legally acquired gems. So who's taking inventory here?
I am.
Okay. So the first is there are 4 gems. 3 of them are jets, and they are 70 gold each. There is a topaz worth 500 gold, and another 50 gold in coins on the first guy, or on the second guy you find.
Mm-hmm.
There are 13 gold. There's 13 gold on the third guy, and a scroll and a wand.
Mm-hmm.
And on the last guy, he has 116 GP, 440 silver, and 1,000 copper. He also has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 6 lapis that is roughly 10 gold each. He has 5 moonstones that are about 50 gold each. a saltwater pearl that is 120 gold, and a large black pearl worth about 550 gold. So Dan, in my world, any legally acquired gems are often given, like, their specs are etched into the gem itself. Overall, the economy here is pretty solid. There's not a lot of fluctuation. And the gem market is pretty much well monitored and managed. So there's not a huge amount of fluctuation that happens.
Again? That was the
120.
So that's what I was going to ask. Is that like a universal thing, or can I like try and determine the source of these gems using like just my background?
So if you run into so this is pretty much across the board. The gems will have like an etching of their current value in them. If the market changes and you appraise, that's kind of you keeping up with the market to see if anything does change, and you can make an appraise check when you would exchange the gems out to make sure they're still at the same value. But this is what the gems are marked at right now.
No, I don't mean like the value. I mean like these gems came from somewhere. So who paid these guys? Can I like determine that, or are these gems just like generic to the point where it's like a dollar bill?
At this point, the gems are kind of like bills. There's no tracking information on any of these.
Okay, I was just curious how that worked. Okay, cool.
But I mean, if you mentioned something about that in character, I mean, we actually do have stuff to say, though.
And then he also has on him a scroll and a bottle of oil. Yep. That is the loot from that guy, from those three.
And so it was 4 daggers, 4 crossbows?
Yes, and one of the daggers is magical.
Okay. And any crossbow bolts, because we got a couple of crossbow users.
Yeah, they'll have about 15 on them each.
Alright, you guys want to add... There's 2 crossbow users in the party, right?
Yeah.
Alright, you guys want to just add 15 on for each of you? Real quick?
Sure.
Or should I toss it on the loot sheet?
I'm trying to figure out my lap, but you like trying to take up my lap and my chest and part of my arm is not cool.
Yeah, I'll take 15 of them.
Okay. So let me throw these. Yeah. So, what do you guys want to do once you get all that pulled together? You can see the cart is starting to come down the roadway by about the time you get all the stuff picked up.
Should we? Is out of character? Is there any way to wake this guy up early there, or does he have to like regain his health naturally? Or whatever?
He's gonna need to regain the health naturally. This guy is in a severe state of unconsciousness.
Even through like magical healing and stuff like that?
Through magical healing, you figure you probably could. You've seen other people like get up after magical healing.
Jack, should we take this guy in an alley and question him ourselves before handing him over to the officials, since we know some shady shit's going on?
I think we should. We've gotten some practice recently, and I think we're ready to.
Yeah, I think he'd be really good at that,
question
Arius.
this guy too.
Okay, where are you guys gonna take him?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends. How old is he? Is he elderly? Because Arius would be really good at that.
No, he looks to be pretty young.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's all sorts of alleys.
Hello, Ben.
Into, right?
Yeah,
Just bring him
there's
this building right here.
There's the alleys. There's a building. The building that's right there that's open. Yep.
Oh yeah. Let's bring him in there.
I'm gonna scout the building for windows.
Okay. There are no windows on this building.
Perfect.
Or at least on this floor of this building, I should say.
So yeah, I'll put my necklace around him and I'll tap it. I'll use his hand to tap it.
Okay.
It's 1d8 plus 1, right?
It is 1d8 plus 1. If you actually... Hold on. I want to try this just to see if it works. Go to your inventory.
Yeah, I saw you kind of put the formula in there.
And if you click on it, you should be able to make it roll. Excellent.
Ooh. Okay.
All right. So yeah, I'll let the 8 go off. I just wanted to make sure it worked okay. If other people clicked on it.
Nice.
So he will he'll heal back up and he'll did anybody tie him up or anything?
Yep, I said I did.
Sorry,
Yep.
I missed that part. So he heals back up to consciousness. This doesn't look like heaven.
Far from it.
You thought you were going to heaven?
This isn't prison either, is it? He tries to like move his arms, but they like stop. It's very hard to see with all this blood in my eyes. Will one of you at least do me a favor and wipe that away?
There's no one move to wipe it.
No.
I smack him across the face.
Damn.
And try and get the blood out of his eyes that way. Is that better? Is that better? You pig.
No. It's no better. Why would you think that would help?
Probably for the same reason that you think hiding behind doors is combat worthy. Coward.
Start speaking, or unless you don't value your life.
What do you think I'm gonna tell you if I was willing to stab myself?
There are things worse than death, and I'll grow my claws.
I'll put my hood down.
He can't see you guys clearly enough to see your hands change. And he definitely can't see anything about your face. It looks the same as it was a couple of seconds ago.
Well, I'll be nice and I'll blood out of his eyes for him.
Okay. So how are you wiping him? How are you wiping it away? Oh,
I'm gonna stand behind him and I'll just like kind of like rub it out of his eyes.
Okay. So you start rubbing his eyes. Are you being a little aggressive with it, or?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay.
Maybe accidentally, of course.
Oh, fuck you! It hurts!
Well, that's because there's blood in your eyes.
Oh, God! Can I have Mal and Arius give me intimidate checks at a +2? Okay. So this is something I need to let you know of, Dan. One of the things that I've started doing that's a little bit different is rather than having a primary with an assist, everybody rolls checks that are relevant to the thing, and anybody who succeeds at assisting, as long as one person succeeds at assisting, they will assist the highest number roll.
Oh, okay. I got you.
He kind of leans back a bit and then remembers you're behind him and like tries to find some safe range of leaning. What? Oh, I don't like this. You're not gonna make it quick, are you?
Not at all.
Depends on what you tell us.
Yeah, maybe there's a way for you to get out of this alive. It depends on what you say to us. Someone who's willing to kill themselves. Sounds like there's some bigger plan going on here.
Can I grab like a piece of fruit from the warehouse and just like really slowly bite into it with my teeth when he asks if we make it quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like the slowest bite while just staring him dead into his like eyes.
He tries to squirm back a little bit and then bumps into Cassius again. Oh, you're still there.
Yeah, I'll make sure to like show off the side of my face that has that mummy rot going on.
All right, give me an intimidate.
Yeah, I have a little bit of mummy rot on my face.
Yeah, you
Oh,
probably
shit.
should have given us that in your description.
Yeah, I forgot about it until just now.
He kind of looks at you, and he's like now squirming a little closer to you because he feels a little less like you're going to kill him. Oh,
I'll
or
just,
not
like,
kill him in the same way.
Maybe I'll just have it drip on him a little bit.
Oh, that's gross. What are you doing?
Sorry. I'm just cleaning it.
Oh,
Just wipe it off the back of his shirt.
damn it!
What? I don't want to get my clothes dirty.
Well, get over whatever you're gonna do to me. I'm not saying a word.
Why not?
If I speak, I do not get to see my god. I will not have an orc responsible for stopping me from getting there.
Who said
As
any
soon as-
orcs were going to
as
have
soon as he
anything to do with it?
mentions like some sort of religion, I just scoff really hard at him. I'm like, should have figured.
Spinks, you speak to spirits. Can you read this guy's mind or what?
Who said an orc had anything to do with it?
That one right there.
Yeah? There's plenty of humans here, too.
Yeah, you racist.
You'll have pity on me.
Why is
Maybe not the one with the mutant claws,
Hey, watch it, buddy.
bub.
that?
Watch it, bub.
Maybe I will, depending on what you tell us.
Give me a diplomacy there. Or a bluff, whichever is...
Diplomacy.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's with a +6.
I'm not telling you a damn thing.
What
I know
god do you
you're
serve?
lying.
What reason do I have to
Close
kill
up.
you? I could just easily turn you over.
I don't want to be turned over. I want to be dead.
This-
What god do you serve? Can you at least tell us that?
I would think one of you at least would be able to figure it out.
Don't tell me it's the Landrian.
It's probably
No,
Delandria.
it's not Delandrian. Come on now. Do I look like I was running around reanimating corpses?
Well, looks like you had a death wish.
Yes. Shows I'm not a follower of Delandrian. They don't wish to die, they just are excited about the idea of one day dying.
Hey,
Tomato, tomato.
maybe we can donate this dude's corpse to Delanran.
No.
I'm sure Delandria would really like that, actually.
Yeah, I actually met a priest back in the other town. He wanted fresh corpses.
Oh,
Sounds like we
that's
got another one
convenient.
tomorrow.
Alright, that'll give you guys another intimidate.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. I mean, does it sound like this guy doesn't like Delanry? Like he's like offended by the fact that we thought that that's.
Give me a sense motive on that, but to see just kind of how much you might be able to pick up.
Sure.
As well as second intimidate there. You have not already. Oh, excellent.
Ooh.
Well, okay, so I was gonna say my intimidation that I was gonna do because I didn't actually say anything was like whatever symbol. If like anyone in the party could like tell me what Delanry's symbol is, because I don't have a fucking clue. I was gonna like arcane mark that into the ground in front of him and be like, "Do you think your gods will accept you if you go into the afterlife with this on your face?"
Ooh.
All right, you etch a symbol into the ground that you think might be Delandrian's symbol.
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of scribbles.
But even then, like the idea of you etching anything to his face, he kind of like
Oh man, the orc god.
he lets actually what his assumption is at this point is this must be some kind of crazed orc god. He turns and looks up to Cassius. Dude, don't let him send me to the orc god. They hate humans. They eat the souls of humans.
So you do value something.
Don't let him send me there. That's how they do it. They mark your face, and then they kill you, and then you're being eaten by the god of orcs.
Well, if you want death, I'll make sure to bring that to you myself if you give us the answers we're looking for.
And while he's saying that, I move up from the ground and onto his like breastplate, and I make the mark again on his breastplate. Just as I'm moving up towards his face, basically.
All right. I follow you laws.
I forgot about him.
God, I figured you'd figure it out. These people anymore are getting stupider and stupider. You are definitely not from around here. What, do they not have schools where you come from?
I'm not much of the religious type.
None of you look it. What else?
I mean, I have a religious mark in my face. Does that count?
Well, it doesn't match the one that you put on the ground, so it's even
Right.
more confusing and frightening to him. What do you want from me? I gave you my god. Now finish me.
Who put together your plan here?
I did.
Sense motive.
Yep. He is very he is very plainly telling you the truth.
How many of there are you?
Yeah, you won't find the rest of us. There are about 20 of us. Well, I assume 16 now.
Hi, baby.
Since this operation did not go so smoothly.
And are your friends going to seek retribution for this failure, or are they going to probably
Make sure
scatter
that-
to the wind?
Make sure he's not lying about that number.
He does not seem to be. They will seek retribution, but I'm sure they won't find it. Without me to guide them, they won't do much good.
Were there any other leaders in the organization, or just you?
Just myself. I started this not too long ago. I found enough of us that can't stand the dwarves of this town. We seek to overthrow them and take the town for ourselves. But that takes slow and quite complicated planning.
We actually have plans to overthrow the power in this city. Perhaps you should let us know where your other people are so we can have some coordination going on, maybe.
If you'd like to overthrow them, I can give you some details of how to do it most effectively.
Yeah?
Well, you'll need to untie my hands first, as a show of trust.
Alright, sense motive.
Yep.
I'll step back and aim my weapon right at the back of his head.
Jack, you get the feeling like he's not going to do anything if you do.
Alright. I believe him, guys. What do you think?
Well, he's got nowhere to run. We have the exits like kind of blocked, right? Like he couldn't run past us
That's
without.
sense motive.
Cassius, you kind of get the idea that he's not going to do anything unless an opportunity is given to him.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot of room for him to make any mistakes at this point.
I mean, yeah, I'll ready my bow for if he does try and make a run for it.
Okay. Who's going to
All right,
loosen?
I'll loosen.
Okay.
This is my rope.
When you loosen...
All right.
Oh. Good. You're not as stupid as at first I thought. Come here. He starts walking towards one of the boxes. That's one of the crates that's on the ground.
I'll walk towards him and I'm gonna stay within 20 feet of him.
I'm gonna stand near the door,
Okay.
just like kind of blocking it.
Yeah, I'm not moving. I still got my bow readied, but I'm watching.
He reaches over and he picks up a jug off the off of one of the shelves and he sets it down. And he reaches over and he takes like a small jar and he sets it down as well. He says, "Okay. As it stands right now, let's say the jug is the dwarves and the jar is everyone else. This is about an accurate representation of the current population, comparatively. A lot of dwarfs, about half as many non-dwarves. But this is not an accurate representation of how people feel about the current dwarven leadership. Change the music.
And why is that?
Well, he walks about the storehouse. Do you notice all of the items here in this room?
Mm-hmm.
He starts
Yeah.
gesturing to the various food products.
Yeah.
This is a dwarven-owned building. Have you been around the warehouses district? Did you notice the names on all of those buildings?
Can't say that I
I'd
have.
seen at least one, yeah.
There's a common thread amongst them. They're all dwarven-owned buildings. When the humans moved in here, the humans were on even footing with the dwarves. But all of a sudden, well, I shouldn't really say all of a sudden. I mean, all of a sudden then, not all of a sudden recently. There was a shift in the way things went. A lot of dwarves started moving into the town, more so than had ever before. The population became more imbalanced, and more dwarves suddenly had access to valuable resources, valuable commodities.
Mm-hmm.
No one quite knew where these dwarves were coming from, but they were wealthy. And they had access to more opportunities than we humans did. And now, we find ourselves in a town that claims to be all about gods that only humans would worship. Being run by a group of people who are stubborn and want nothing to do with new information, and instead simply want to hoard the wealth of this town. We know that if we can convince enough humans to our side, we might be able to start a movement towards change. But that only happens with enough people. If you get my drift.
Head sense mode on him.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like really progressive notions for someone who's hiding behind doors trying to kill other races.
It's important to make sure that what is human stays human. This was our town until Dwarven wealth took it over. We built this. You see those palisades. Those were our palisades. The roads, the buildings. You can see the woodwork here and there. The work that we did. The work that then the dwarves came along and they spread their stone over top of it. Even, emotionless stone. They put up stone statues to our gods. Claim them as their own. But you'll notice they're more interested in keeping to themselves. They're more interested in hiding things in their warehouses. This is not a place of information and understanding. This is a place of secrets and lies. And so it's only fair that the god of the end made it clear to me what I needed to do. I needed to cleanse the false believers from here and give him an opportunity to bring this town to what it needs to be. It can be overthrown. It can be broken. But it needs to be one of their own kind killing one of their own kind.
Do you have any plans to make that happen?
The orc was to be a start. If we could have taken down the orc, we could have made it look like the guards had something to do with it. We had what I thought would be a pretty solid plan. But things are not lost yet. What happened to the guards that were traveling with you? The mayor would have certainly sent you with some guards.
I don't know. I was on the rooftops. What did you guys see?
I told him to look for these guys in the crowds while we fought the ones we could see.
Notice.
So what happened to them, I guess you know?
They were going to report the story a little bit differently. Claim they had a better sight on what happened. Report that it was dwarven assassins that made the attempt.
Were the guards that were with us dwarven?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Oh no, I'm sorry. They were human. They were human. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering. I was
No,
like,
that was a misspeak. My brain was like ready to say yes to human, and then he said dwarven.
So the guards have left, and now he's telling us that they're already headed back to report that dwarves had tried to assassinate the orc.
They would have,
Had
but
they been successful?
yes, it is much easier to point fingers when there is a real tragedy. Much more difficult when no tragedy has occurred, and there are bodies to find afterwards.
Well, we can tell them that you got away and you were a dwarf.
Yes, but that will be your word versus the word of the orc that runs things.
All right, he did see you.
It was.
I also look. I look at you. What's your character's name? I'm sorry. I need to learn the name.
Mine, Arius.
Arius. Yeah, I look at you too. I'm like, you can't possibly think about going along with this.
Well, there's more to the picture here. We've known stuff about the mayor of this town. We have our own plans in motion, but we'll talk about that later.
I'm in hot water as is.
He doesn't know, but it sounds like you do. You've seen the mayor's trips from time to time to that building, yes?
Yep. We're well aware. You called this a town of secrets and lies.
Yes.
Sounded like you know exactly what the building is, as do we.
Well, I have theories. I've not been able to get inside.
What might these theories be?
It seems very Thoth in nature. Lots of people losing their memories. I'd say likely one of the cults. I can't quite figure out which one. Stealing thoughts, keeping them, keeping the town.
Yeah, not so much thoughts as secrets.
Yes. Keeping the town ignorant.
And
Are you telling me that the mayor that I'm supposed to be delivering this letter to in the hopes of getting an exoneration is just as corrupt as the rest of them?
No, not the mayor. Your letters are going to the military leaders.
Oh, okay. I thought the mayor was serving as like consort for that.
No. Though originally
okay.
they didn't realize the council didn't realize that the military group would still be here. They thought they would go back after they'd completed things. So they were going to turn you over to the mayor originally, thinking like, oh, the mayor will then hand you off to the military when they.
I was like, if the mayor is just corrupt too, and I was just going to start playing the what's Curb Your Enthusiasm theme.
And what do you know about her influx of wealth? She seems to have quite a bit of it.
I've been
Yeah,
trying
you said
to.
the dwarves brought it in, but yeah.
We've been trying to figure that out ourselves. There's no mine that I'm aware of that they could be gathering that much wealth from. But if what some of the unloaders have spoken of in some of the shipments, there are a lot of materials only mineable in the mountains that make it here without questions, without routes. And no one knows what they are, what exactly they are, but they're all certain that unlabeled and unidentified packages should not come in this frequently, and the guards shouldn't overlook it as much as they seem to.
Yeah, I've witnessed that.
Is would I the was it Richion or Reshion?
Ryoshin.
How do I pronounce it?
Ryoshin.
Ryoshin cultists tried to have me in mines. Not very far from here.
You're from the mountains, then.
Oh, I'm from very far away from here. Where I've been has nothing to do with where I'm from these days.
That's fair. But the only cult of Ryoshin I know of is to the west in the mountains as well. They do have a mine out there that I've heard many have gone looking for. You've been to that mine before?
Yes, they tried to force me.
Many will want to know that location. If you keep that for yourself and can eliminate the cultists, there is quite a bit of good material for manufacturing there. As well.
But could this be one of the sources that the dwarves are getting their supplies from?
It's unlikely. Thoth is not a fan of Ryoshin. It would be very bizarre to see the two of them working together. But I have heard there are disputes over that territory, and it makes me wonder if perhaps the two are mining too close to each other. Perhaps the dwarves and Ryoshin are a bit of war in that area. Must be kept quite secret.
Oh yeah. The military didn't find it until I set the place on fire.
I know that others have been searching for it as well. So it's a shame the military has located it. You should hope they don't find the mine. There is great value in there. Anyway, what I would tell you is this. There are others that work with us. Others that may not believe necessarily in our long-term goals, but in the short, they would like to see a change in the mayor, a change in the way this town runs. They are quiet allies to our cause. If you relay the information that I've shared with you to your superiors, perhaps the military can be persuaded to get somewhat involved, if they know that there is wealth being hidden from them. Remember, taxes are based in percentages, not just in random figures. If you can get an estimate, or if you can get an understanding of where and how much is potentially there, you might be able to incite some change.
Interesting.
You saw the gems I had on me, correct?
Yep.
Every one of the gems came in. Every one of them had to work to acquire. Each one giving me a little bit more information about likely whereabouts of where. I have a relative idea of where this mine would have to be to uncover these, as well as the materials used to make my dagger. Have my dagger made the way that I did. They should work as reasonable evidence. If you let me live, I can show you some other details that I picked up. I can give you a map of the relative area I'm certain the mine must be.
Alright.
I'm so good at sense motive.
Well, I mean, you get the impression he's not staring you dishonestly.
Yeah,
He hasn't lied to us yet.
yeah, he had given me facts that, I could confirm, like, that I had, in fact, seen those things myself. And, yeah, I mean, we want to get rid of the mayor. Letting this guy go, letting him run his crew, could be very beneficial to us in the future.
What's your name?
Is that required for me to share with you? Or can I just give you something you can call me?
I mean,
Yeah, if we have contact with you, that's fine.
Yeah.
You may refer to me as the Raven.
Just in case us or some of our allies need to reach you.
And so we would just ask around for the Raven in, like, what, the local tavern, or?
Yes, if you say you're looking for a Raven in town, someone should eventually lead me to you. No
Any
one will
specific
speak
part
up.
of town?
No, just ask around for a Raven. Ask if anyone's seen a Raven.
Yep.
And eventually,
And we'll bless the humans, yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Unless you guys had any more questions, I'm fine with letting them go.
No.
Yeah.
I would just express like I just get to town, promised a new life, and the first thing we do is make a deal with a fucking scoundrel who tries to kill me, and I just smash a crate and just walk out of the alley.
Okay.
Let me see how gloriously I smash a crate. All right, pretty.
Oh yeah,
Pretty
you
well.
smash it real well. It's in pieces. There's just bits and pieces of like food and wood spread all across the floor.
While I'm walking down the alley, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom quick.
Yeah, no problem. He nods and appreciate this arrangement. I'm sorry your friend may not agree with it, but I assure you that whether you oppose my long-term desires or not, I think in the short term we can work out something quite good. For now, I will get my charts together. I'm going to have to disappear for a little while, likely out of town. But when you return here, I'll have the maps that I can share with you and let you know where you'll need to go. Is that a fair arrangement?
Yeah.
Excellent. Then if you'll excuse me, there is something I wish to cast.
You wish to cast?
Yes, it will be unharmful to all of you.
What is it?
Invisibility. You need to get out of here without being seen.
Yeah, I mean, we can just leave, let him do his thing.
I'll put a hand on his shoulder, say the necklace first. My necklace is on him still.
He takes the necklace off and hands it back to you.
I take it back.
And then
Can I roll something to tell what spell he's casting as he's casting it? Or
Absolutely.
no?
That is a spellcraft.
Okay, I'm gonna try and just make sure he's actually casting.
You're not really sure what he's casting, but he does disappear at the end of it.
Okay. Well, mine was a 14.
Man.
Oh,
I'm
that was
going great
Cassius's at a
tonight.
9. Out of I think a
Yeah.
14 and 16 are enough. Let me double check DCs. I often get the spellcraft identifier DCs incorrect.
It's just 10 plus level. I
No, it's
thought.
15. It's 15 plus level.
Oh,
So neither of you will end up getting the spell, but he definitely does disappear at the end.
So, before we leave the warehouse, I'm gonna talk to Jack and Arias real quick.
mhm.
So,
I guess I'll leave the room then.
well, you could
Get
stay
out,
too.
I
I mean,
point
you're
you
more
out
than
the
welcome.
door.
You guys are more than welcome to
Humans
stay,
only.
I'll
but
leave the room anyways.
Okay.
I figured they would probably have more of an input on the situation. So who are we gonna let know about this? Because we could
The
always
army.
call. Okay, just the army.
Did we hear the guy leave? Like, did we hear footsteps and him walk out, or?
Give me a perception.
I'm assuming that he would have had to have opened the door.
No, man, this dude's
Ooh.
definitely watching us.
A 19 is enough to know that you hear some level of footsteps, but as you start talking, you hear the footsteps stop, Cassius.
Maybe we should go somewhere a little safer before we have this conversation.
Yeah,
How much time do we
just-
have until?
At that
There's-
comment, you hear a soft chuckle in the distance. And as Sphinx opens the door, you can hear 2 sets of footsteps go out the door.
Okay.
All right.
We
and
expected to
what's
be back at the trade, no? We gotta make our way back there. We've probably been...
Hold on. Well, the wizard, he was a human, right?
Was he human
The wizard we saw that we was in the room.
or
that
He was
pushed us out?
anti-mayor.
The High Arcanist, he is a human.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah.
we'll let him know too, since
That's
he
what I was
is
getting at.
also anti-mayor. Well, if he's willing to talk to us, he was pretty annoyed. But if he's willing to talk to us, we'll let him know
I
about
don't know if he'll
the.
be... Well, we'll talk about this later, but yeah, let's hold on thought.
Yeah,
Alright.
I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think linking them together would be a much stronger group to help us.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you guys are inside talking. Mal, you are outside the building. After a few seconds, Sphinxar comes walking out behind you.
Yeah, that probably doesn't look so good. Just the 3 humans in there talking about what's going on.
So we're gonna kill all non-humans. I say as I'm also walking out the door.
Not quite yet.
Turn around, cast burning hands.
Is there anything that the 2 of you want to discuss for a couple of moments before the rest of the group comes back out?
You'd probably walk out to me just like sitting there, like stabbing my scimitar like into like a wooden box or something. And I'm just like, how did you end up with them? Do you have no loyalty? Do you know what they do to us?
I had my party die. These were the group I was stuck with. It only gets weirder, apparently.
Seems all humans, all they care about is just which human is more powerful than the next. There's no peaceful ecosystem, and yet we're the ones who are marketed as the violent ones.
All right. A few moments later, the three of you come walking out to the two of them.
I just go back to stabbing the crate. I don't like crates, apparently. Crates are not good.
I promise we'll fill you in on it. It's kind of a long story, and we don't have much time until. Is the trade thing still? I'm
Oh
assuming
yeah,
it's going on.
the cart's probably quite a ways down the road. You guys are probably late.
We'll make sure to explain this to you when we're in a safer place and after the trade deal has been implemented.
Better be quite a good explanation, I say, and then I'll just go catch up with the crate or the caravan.
All right, so yeah,
Follow 'em.
you guys can rush down the road. When you get there, the caravan is being set up. There are a few people getting ready to sort of unload some goods to present to the people.
So wait, just to clarify this, what happened to the guards that were with us? They just like took off after.
Yeah,
the
they
fight
went to
started?
go report the attack.
Like,
So,
right after they died.
the
they just went to
the
report?
original basically what their plan was the guards were going to be waiting there and kind of keeping an eye on the situation until
And then
everything
just-
unfolded, and then once you guys started killing the others, they just took off, so they weren't a part of anything in any way, so there was no connection to them with it.
Well, I mean, the mayor specifically sent them, right? So
Yeah,
I'm just
but
saying,
the
like, when we get back, we'd be like, yeah, to just corroborate why we're late. We'd be like, yeah, your guard should report that some shit went.
Oh no!
down.
When you get back, the guards explain that there was some kind of attack there was an attack that occurred, and they weren't sure exactly how many people were there, so they wanted to get back quickly and gather together some more guards. But the mayor was like adamantly refusing to send any additional people out there. Because there's already a retinue of 20 guards with the caravan. She doesn't have additional guards to dispatch to that location, considering all the rest of the guards are throughout the town trying to keep the peace otherwise.
All right.
Well, also from her comments earlier, I would think that she would have some idea that these guys might be, fucking backstabby, shitty guards too, because I know we heard her complaining about them and saying how useless they were.
Mm.
And I imagine she figures, yeah, they probably want to lure everybody away to create a larger ambush in the big area.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so once you get there, the mayor will ask for you to come on stage. She'll look a little confused at the new person that's there with you. Who's this guy?
The orcs gave him as a new conscript for the army, so we're bringing him with us.
Didn't realize they'd sell off their own kind.
Huh? They requested us bring him to the army, so we will.
Guess it is no matter. She leads you up to the stage. She leads Agak along with you, and she proceeds to go through the ceremony, talking about how, thanks to the four of you, they've been able to brokerage this trade agreement with the orc and goblin settlement to the north. She explains the goblins are very adept hunters. That they are going to be able to bring a great supply of food in exchange for many of the resources that they have here to help them in their hunting and help them in their defense. Explaining to the people that this could be like a brand new era for being able to make sure that people are well fed and well taken care of. And that the trade arrangement will also help them to move a few more of the resources through here. That the finished resources that they have through here. Many of the weapons that they produce, many of the armor, and the various other things that could help out a up and coming, society of people without access to higher grades of swords and shields, and having nothing but hide to save themselves, when they would do much better with metals and steels to help in their survival against the forces of the wilderness. The people of the town mostly cheer. Give me a perception as the people are cheering.
Perception.
Wow, I did twice more.
Okay. Jack, you'll spot like there's a pretty significant number of humans that don't clap at what she's saying.
Okay.
Does he notice about
all
16 of
together
them?
in one area?
No, they're kind of spread apart.
Okay. Cool.
He does not notice about. There's actually more than 16 of them.
Okay.
She goes through and she has a few more like speeches, a lot more roundabout stuff about how much this is going to do great for the town, and the town already has like these great arrangements with these other trade partners, and there's so many like resources, and she's just basically like now talking up how great the town is to people who live within the town. And after a little bit of time, things kind of like wind down. A couple of other people come up and speak, but the last person to get up there and speak is the High Arcanist. This is going to be a time of greatness for our town. This trade arrangement means a lot to us. I know that now many of you, like me, find yourself very worried that our dwarven allies are not there for us enough. I know the troubles that you... But I can assure you that this is a deal that works out for every one of us. Not just. Let us embrace the agreement. Let us embrace our companions tightly. Hold them close. Remind them that we care. That we will be their allies. And with his speech, yeah, good job, Cassius. On that sense motive, you definitely do get the feeling that he is like speaking in sort of double talk. He's saying something that sounds to the dwarves like, he's trying to make the people understand that the humans are on their side, or that the dwarves and the humans should exist peacefully and that they should peacefully coexist. Stupid words. However, you also seem to notice that like he's very careful in the words that he's chosen to make sure that he's focusing more on how the trade is valuable to the humans, and not that the alliance is important to the humans. You hear more cheers go up from the crowd, and this time, give me one more perception.
Just Ryan?
No, everybody can give me a perception here. Okay, Cassius, you will also notice that throughout the crowd, almost every human is cheering. Some of them are like really excited as they cheer, and they're all kind of like their gaze is kind of turned towards the orc that stands on the stage, and they're like kind of shaking their head and clapping like really excitedly.
Wait, the dwarf you said?
No, the humans.
No, but the very last thing you said the door.
They're looking at the orc.
The orc. Okay.
Yeah.
The leader.
The
orc
leader. Yeah.
Okay.
And then things will kind of wrap up. People will go back to celebrating. And yeah, the trade ends up going pretty well.
All right. Excellent.
So
that leads me to believe that the trapdoor was just an escape for the mayor if needed.
that is 100% correct. The trapdoor was there in the event that some sort of chaos would have broken out. She had a way out. You botched. You weren't actually supposed to even discover the trapdoor, but you snuck under and you managed to roll quite well. So yeah, nice discovery there.
All right. Because yeah, I was definitely worried a little bit there that that this last dude was making his plan put into action to get rid of the mayor, and then was going to use that trapdoor. I was like, oh shit.
All right. Is there anything else? You guys can either spend the evening here, or you can embark back to the camp in the evening.
Well, I mean, I want to talk to the wizard dude.
Okay.
Make sure that he has contact with the leader of the human resistance.
Well, things are going to take a little while to wrap up here. So, are you going to wait around here to try to talk to the wizard, or are you going to wait for a while and then try to go back to the wizard later?
Yeah, I mean, we could. Well, yeah, no, I wasn't gonna try and talk to him here. I was gonna talk to him in his
Okay.
in his protected room.
Yep. All right, Cassius, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, when we get to like a safe place, I'll kind of let them know what I was able to gather from his speech.
Okay.
Like, because it seemed a little more emphasis on the agreement, the trade, and it did the alliance between the two, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll kind of pass that information along. He might be just as bad as this Raven dude.
All right, and where are you guys going to have that conversation at?
It'd probably be my hotel room, right? That's where
Okay.
we've been having our meetings.
Okay, so you can express that to the rest of the group. You guys want to discuss that for a bit?
Yeah, while we're here, I'll just say he seemed rather opposed to secrets and stuff like that. You think it's wise to alert him of this Raven group? Maybe he already knows about them, but is it wise for him to?
Yes, because
do you really think you'd work with a shady organization?
I believe he would. He absolutely would. Because he might not have the ability to overthrow the mayor himself, and if we can't get the army to come help,
well, I think we can get the
this
army
way we can make potentially very much strengthen that resistance.
Well, he has much told us so that he wasn't able to handle it himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but my point is he might want to go through more official channels, because if we tell the military that they're hiding, like Bruna's hiding some mine where she's getting some wealth that she hasn't told the military about at all, I'm pretty sure they're going to be pissed and want to do something about it.
Yeah, we're not telling them about the mine. We're telling the military about the mine. We're telling we're giving this dude the contact with the what was it, the Raven, the Crow?
The Raven.
Yeah, I'm just saying he might not take that well, and may not. Like, he may not want to work with a shady organization. He wanted to work with the military to remove her. I'm sure with his vast power, he probably knows.
Well, I mean, if he doesn't want to work with them, he doesn't have to. I just want to give him the ability to.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that he's gonna go wipe out this group, just because they have similar interests.
Maybe we should let Mal know what's going on here.
Yeah, so Mal, the deal is the leader of this town is stealing people's memories.
Yeah, you heard a little bit about that from this other dude, but yeah, she's extracting secrets. Like she's gathering up, say, like a lot of the homeless, a lot of the poor, and is working with some cult to take their secrets,
It's,
buying and selling them.
I wish I could act surprised, but why is that any worse than any of this other things that?
So this cult, it like bore some sort of like magical parasite into my mind or something. So it's a very powerful group. I can only imagine how evil it is doing things like this.
And it's something that the High Arcanist knows about and is opposed to.
Yeah. So we want to essentially this mayor is going to corrupt this entire town if we don't do anything about it. Like, you've already kind of seen how far it started to spread.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm not personally much of a fan of some of the undertones of some of the High Arcanist's message, but I don't know.
So my problem remains that I'm operating on a very short rope. And if anything with this plan goes wrong, you as accepted members of the military might be okay. But I'm in hot water as is. And until I have official words with a ranking member of the military, my situation is very complicated.
Well, I mean, you just tell them you followed what we told you to do.
Well, we could always go back to camp and then come back here. How far away is the travel?
It's only a couple of. It's not. It's actually a little over a day, or a little under a day. But like you basically do it during the day, and then you would rest when you got to camp.
Well,
Gotcha.
yeah. So that's our plan already. Like, I want to go tell the wizard about this, about the leader of the organization. Make sure that he's aware of that. And then I figured we'd be heading out to our base right afterwards.
There is a knock at the door.
I ready my burning hands. No.
Wrong character.
Oh,
Wait, does that mean I have to do it then?
yep.
I ready my burning.
All right.
Set my hands
I'll,
on fire.
I'll open the door.
It is the innkeeper. I have a message for you. I was given it by a rather odd kind of figure looking. It's illusory. You could see through it, but it carried the message straight to me. Laid it down,
Right.
and there was a note attached to it that told me to bring this to you.
All right. Do I know if it's like customary that we're supposed to tip this dude, or?
Do you have knowledge local?
I don't know.
Or,
This character that I'm playing has 0 knowledge.
Okay. Yeah. Any? Do you have diplomacy?
Nope.
Okay. So you wouldn't really know per se.
Is this a dungeon?
All right, thanks. I grab it.
All right.
I'm gonna sense motive if he's waiting there.
Okay, Spinks, you would know that it's technically customary to tip when somebody brings you a message.
How much? Do I know how much?
Just a few copper or silver is fine. Whatever you feel is appropriate.
I'll give him a silver.
Okay. He thanks you and then heads off. All right.
All right, I'll close the door, head back in, and check this letter from the wizard.
Okay. I love how you assume it's from the wizard, but I guess the
Hey man, he sent that unseen servant.
Yep.
From
You
the wizard.
unwrap it, and it simply says, do you consent to discussions from afar? And there is a, glowing yes and a glowing no.
Do you like me? Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna say yes, guys.
Oh.
Is that all the letter says?
Yes.
That's ominous.
I mean, it's your mind, Jack. I assume this is consent for you, not for all of us.
I don't know. I'm gonna consent. I mean, you guys can consent if you want.
Sense motive on the letter.
The letter does not seem to have any malintent.
All right, good. The letter has no malintent, guys.
Oh my god!
What's the
Good
spell
I
on
love
it?
the double crits. Okay. So with the spellcraft, you can tell that this is a sending spell. So give your when you identify what could likely be here, I'm assuming you'll turn on your detect magic.
Yeah, yeah.
So you kind of look at it, and you can see the way that the letter is woven. It will basically take whatever word is said, and it will send that word to another location, some distance away from here. If a specific command word is spoken.
I don't know about these human alliances that you're trying to form, but the letter itself seems safe. I still don't know if it's a good idea to put all of our enemies together, but I guess they're not technically your enemies as much as they are.
Well, also the military know what's going on too. I'm assuming. Hopefully, they'll be able to keep things in check.
All right. So yes. So when I agree to this, we don't know what they're gonna hear, guys. So make sure nobody's saying anything.
Can do.
All right. I'll agree.
Okay, so
Yes, sir. I circle it or whatever.
you speak yes, and the letter rolls up, and then kind of flies out the window. About 10 seconds later, a illusory figure appears on the ground in front of all of you. That looks to be the wizard from the High Arcanist.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess I want a perception to make sure that it definitely looks like him and not some disguise.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and give me. Yeah, this looks to be him. You don't notice anything about the way this illusion or this figure seems to be set up that looks like somebody else. Good. You chose to speak with me. I realized after I chose the wording for the letter, there was a chance you might think it was the cult that was onto you, and you might decline my letter. I hate when I choose bad word choices. Words are not my thing, you understand. I am worried that you're still in town. I thought you would have left by now. Are you here for a reason?
Yeah, I need to speak with you.
Then it is fortuitous that I chose to check in with why you were here.
Well,
Let's make it quick.
So I'm not comfortable with without actually seeing you in person.
Oh my god, I don't wish to see you in person! What do you need to speak about? This is a secure channel! They cannot hear you in the realm that I am, in the range that I am standing now. You're not even actually talking right now.
So I mean, with all this shady cult business and all this other stuff, I want to make sure that that I'm actually talking to you.
Fine! Do I have the consent to bring you to me?
Yes.
Fair enough. I will need to waste a scroll on this. God damn it! And you can see him like walking about the room, and he seems to walk over to something, and he pulls like a scroll off of nowhere, and he opens up the scroll. Shit, untrustworthy. Very high power magic. You have to waste this, and he starts like chanting and reading, and it's all very. There's like a lot of like anger in his voice as he like proceeds to cast this spell. And like a circle appears on the floor. Now, step into the circle, please.
Yep. I'll step into it.
You step in.
I'll step in it.
I guess I'll step in since everybody else's.
Mal?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
All of you step in, and you are instantly teleported into the room of the High Arcanist. The four of you will recognize like the shelves along the walls, the books and pages moving from shelf to shelf. He is not seated in his seat this time. He is standing there, looking towards a small object that is kind of hovering in front of him. Now, is this more to your liking, or are you afraid that I've teleported you to some illusory location?
Does he have shoes? This might be a doppelganger.
Yes, he has on shoes.
All right. Yeah.
Wait.
So
I have one question. Who was the one that resisted your spell when we sent it out of this room?
Oh, I don't remember. All of you look alike.
Oh, he's fake, Jack. I'm just kidding. Go on.
no, I'm sensing motive.
Okay.
That is suspicious.
Okay. You think he's telling the truth. He seems to be.
Okay.
Alright. What do you wish to speak about? Is this proof? Do you need to touch me? Would you like to open the door and check outside and make sure you're in the right place?
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't mind to do that.
Oh
real
my
quick.
god, they take so
I'm gonna
long!
look outside the door. Am I in the right place?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Don't one of you understand spells?
I'm not touching
We
it.
do, but we haven't survived this long by being careless.
Yes, but if you know spells, clearly one of you would have thought to check the spell that you walked into. Yes? Did
Yes,
none of
we
you?
told-
Of
yes,
course
but we could
we did.
teleport somewhere that is not the location that we wanted to go, right? Let's stop arguing about this and have the conversation.
Just
we came in for.
please.
All right. So like there's a resistance group of humans that are also trying to take down the mayor. We have the way to contact the leader if you were interested.
That's good to hear. Is this leader in line with the principles of Shashat and Suinal?
No.
Hmm.
What god did he worship, guys?
Ulaz.
Ulaz.
Ulaz?
Yeah, he worships Ulaz, but he might still be useful with his group.
It is troubling that he is connected to the only other thing I would consider to be particularly dangerous to be in this city or in this town. But an ally is an ally as long as I can keep my eye on him. Did
The only
he...
other thing-
Do you have anything that he held that he kept on him that was once his?
Yeah, he had this magical dagger.
Might
Oh,
I
I...
don't know if you're able
He had
to
some
tell us
coins on
what
him,
sort of
too.
magic this is, too. If you...
Oh, you want to free identify now, too, do you?
Hey, I'm just saying, if I'm handing you over the dagger, you might be able to let us know what it is.
He takes the dagger and he looks at it for a moment, and he reaches out a hand behind him, and an item flies into his hand, and he puts on a pair of lenses, and he stares at it for a moment. It's a dagger of poison. Very simple stuff.
Okay.
I need something that you wouldn't mind losing, though. I'm sure you want to keep that. It is worth selling at the very least, or perhaps using. Do you have something you wouldn't mind handing over to me that was previously his?
Yeah, he had this regular crossbow.
Excellent. He takes the crossbow and he kind of tosses it into a direction, and something grabs it and takes it off to a different location. I'll communicate with him later. What should I refer to him as?
He goes by
The Raven.
Yep. the Raven.
What a boring creature to decide to be, but if that's what he likes is birds, then so be
bad I
it.
wanted to say like Greg or something.
Is this all you have for me?
Yeah, I believe that's all.
Well, this is at least worth this. This could be worth the scroll that I wasted. I hope it is. What are your plans as far as when you return to speak to the military?
Well, we're planning to let them know about the mayor and this cult.
That is a start. Can you please, though, be careful about how you phrase things? I do not want a full-on invasion of our town and the destruction of all we've built here because the military is in fear that is not under control.
Well, what would you suggest we say?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was thinking about letting them know about our resistance group here, led by the Raven.
Excellent. That hopefully will work. I'm not a socialite. I don't know how I would present this to them to make sure things don't go poorly. I leave that to you. I'm just the one who's giving you better thoughts than you seem to have.
Listen, it's pretty simple stuff. The military probably organizes leadership coups all the time.
The military organizes leadership coups by sending a giant here to crush the city entirely. I would rather that not be the solution.
I'm sure.
Oh,
we have more
good. So there
allegations.
is something that we shouldn't be telling them.
Yeah. I don't know what you should be telling them. I don't talk to military members much, and this is part of why. You're very difficult to converse with.
I was trying to figure out what information you didn't want us to tell them.
You should tell them what you think will get them to send you guys back here more often, and not that other squad of pretty boys.
Watch it, buddy.
Yeah, that information about the
So,
giant is pretty helpful.
Do you think that other team might be compromised with the mayor?
No, I think they're
No way.
just sold off on the idea of wealth and the fact that they are well revered here in town. They seem very interested in the way that people take notice of them. They disgust me with their waste of time on their, look at how nice my hair looks, look at how great the things
Okay,
we
buddy.
do.
Okay, we don't need to start throwing insults around.
Do you know why they're not here? Why we were sent instead of them?
I don't scry without being given permission first.
I wasn't aware if something had happened while they were in town last time or something like that.
No, I'm not sure why you were sent here. Perhaps they're all dead. Are we done? Is there anything else you need?
Yeah, we're done. And maybe you should be a little more polite. Might go a long way.
Get out! Step back in the circle and get out!
I'll step back in the circle.
I step back
Yeah, I
in
don't want to be blown back into the circle, so.
Okay. Everybody steps back through?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. You are back in your inn room. And the circle that was on the floor before is now gone.
Time to head back to camp. We got to get this taxes back to the military.
Well, it's getting ready to be nighttime though.
It is evening now.
Afternoon. Yeah, so
First
we
thing
want
in the
to.
morning.
Yeah, we want to leave first thing in the morning. We don't want to walk through at night.
Yeah. Get
Okay.
back as quickly as possible, but as safely as possible.
All right. Then we'll wrap up for the evening if nobody has anything specific they want to do this evening. Start tomorrow with some other things, or we'll start next session with some other things. Let's hand out some experience.
Oh man,
Ooh,
I think I'm my level.
probably.
I would hope so,
Nope.
otherwise. Figure it out on. All right, so you're gonna get for what you defeated 720 XP each. And then each of you can take 1,000 XP for the discoveries you guys have made towards the solving of the mystery here in Kazarin.
Very nice.
Arius, go ahead and take 100 for the recap.
Yep.
For playing to character, Tom, go ahead and take an extra 50 XP for killing that guy on the rooftop.
All right.
Oh, right, you have that trait, right, where you can't leave people alive or something?
Oh, I kill everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arius, go ahead and take 50 for instructing everyone to not kill the remaining guy.
Yeah, bloodthirsty party, jeez.
Let's see. Trying to think of whether or not there was anything particularly changing that the rest did. Thinks off the top of the head. Oh, everybody take 200 for role playing. And I think that's going to cover XP pretty. So Tom, I'm assuming you leveled.
Yeah, I had 100 XP to go.
Can I have you go ahead and give me your hit die roll, please?
Ooh, I level 2.
Nice.
Just barely.
So let's have both of you give me hit die rolls.
I leveled also, I think.
Nice. Give me another hit die roll then for you.
What chart are we using, by the way? Sorry.
We are using medium. Yes.
Medium.
Ooh,
Ugh.
poor Cassius.
Wait. Oh, that's a 1+2, so that would be.
Yeah,
There we go.
much better.
Because you.
I
Oh yeah. So I forgot about that. So in the game, based on your hit dice, if you roll if you roll a 1 or a 2, you'll always re-roll. If your hit die is 10 or larger, you re-roll on a 3. I like to have players that aren't likely to just randomly get killed by poor hit dice rolls. But I also do like a bit of the randomness to it. So we waited a little bit. All right. So you guys can make sure you're leveled by next session. And yeah.
Good.
Level 4 is huge.
Oh, geez, I'm 2 levels behind.
Well,
Oh, you
behind
guys are
some
just saying
people,
3.
there's a bit of
Yeah.
so the way this works is when new players come in or when players are replaced, the lowest level character sets what the new character coming in is going to be. So right now, if you were to die again, you would come back in as level 2 until both you and Spinks level to 3.
She should have leveled, I think.
The main
I still
reason
have
that we're higher level also is that the 2 of us haven't died.
Yeah.
Everyone else has died
Right, yeah.
and made new characters.
Yeah, so they got about a 2,000 XP reset. Tom started off a level ahead of everybody as leader of the party. And Arius just has not died, so he's maintained good XP.
Because we gained like 1,000 from the mystery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sphinx is just a little bit behind on XP.
Yeah. I'm 130 off.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's almost like 2 recaps would have saved her.
Man.
So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and bring down the stream, but if everybody can hang out in the call for a couple of minutes, I'd appreciate it.
Yep.
Sure.
Cool. Otherwise, good night to everybody else. See you later.